The House will come to order. Today, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Grace Bryce and Sam Thomas from Steamboat Mountain School, Steamboat Springs.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Schiebel, please call the roll.
Representative Zamabile. Rep. Amabile.
Excused.
Armagost. Bacon. AML Bacon.
Excused.
Byrd. Representative Byrd.
Excused.
Bockenfeld.
Excused.
Basenecker. Bottoms. Bradfield. Bradley. Brown. Catlin. Clifford. Doherty. DeGraff. Degree Kennedy. Duran. English. Rep. English.
Excused.
Epps. Evans. Frizzell. Froelich. Representative Froelich.
Excused.
Garcia. Hamrick. Hartsook. Hernandez. Herod. Holtorf. Judah. Representative Judah. Judah's excused. Joseph. Kip. Leader. Lindsay. Linstead. Luck.
Here.
Lukens. Lynch. Representative Lynch. Lynch is excused. Mabry. Rep. Mabry. Mabry's excused. Marshall. Martinez. Marvin. Morrow. McCormick. McLaughlin. Ortiz.
Here.
Parenti. Puglisi. Ricks. Representative Ricks. Ricks is excused. Rutinel. Sirota. Snyder. Soper. He's here. Stories excused. Taggart. Titone. Rep. Titone. Titone's excused. Valdez A. Velasco. Representative Velasco. Excused. Vigil. Weinberg. Weissman. Wilford. Representative Wilford. No? Okay. Wilford's excused. Wilson. Winter. Hey. Woodrow. Young. And Madam Speaker.
Here. With 56 present, 9 excused, we do have a quorum. Representative Lukens.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the Journal of Wednesday, March 20th, 2024 be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
Members, you've heard the motion that the journal be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no? The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Members, we are going to be starting our day with a tribute this morning. I will ask Reps. Armagost and Evans to come forward, and please, members, take your seats. Thank you, members. Representative Evans.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have a tribute this morning and ask that it be read at length.
Mr. Schiebel, please read our tribute.
Jason Humphrey enlisted in the United States Marine Corps in 1995, and upon graduating recruit training and military police school, was transferred to Camp Pendleton. Humphrey served in the military police until he separated from the Marine Corps in 2002, earning the rank of Staff Sergeant. He worked in various positions and earned many accolades, meritorious masts, certificates of accommodation, letters of appreciation, the National Defense Service Medal, Marine Good Conduct Medal, and a Navy Achievement Medal. He then enlisted in the United States Air Force Reserves and served from 2002 until his separation in 2005. Staff Sergeant Humphrey worked on active duty orders guarding Pedersen and Shaw Air Force bases. He joined the Adams County Sheriff's Department and began his civilian career in 2003 upon the birth of his second child. He joined the Colorado Army National Guard in September 2006, where he led a contingent of UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter mechanics. He later transferred to structural repair and deployed to a combat zone in the Middle East in 2012 and 2013 as a section supervisor. Staff Sergeant Humphrey finally retired from the military in 2020, but continued to serve in the Adams County Sheriff's Office, working in several divisions to include the jail, patrol, training, professional standards, and as a canine handler. Jason was known for his passion, his drive, and his love for the brothers and sisters in blue, and earned the Sheriff's Office Purple Heart for being injured in the line of duty. Jason loved riding Harleys with his family and friends and was a full member of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. Tragically, on the morning of February 21st, 2024, we lost Adams County Senior Deputy Jason Humphrey while he was returning home at the end of his shift. He was 48 years old, a beloved father, husband, and deputy. He leaves behind a legacy of over 45 years of service in the military and law enforcement. The Colorado House of Representatives recognizes the life, service, and sacrifice of Staff Sergeant Jason Humphrey and extend our deepest condolences to his wife, Danielle, his two daughters, Savannah and Rhea, and his son, Austin. We recognize Staff Sergeant Jason Humphrey's service, as well as all other members of the military and law enforcement who serve our country, state, and local communities.
Representative Evans.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and you all can take your seats. I met Jason in that 2012-2013 deployment. He was, as he would say, I would fly the helicopters and break them and ensure his job security so that he could go and fix them. Jason was one of the, as has been described, one of the nicest grumpy people that you would ever meet. And that was actually my first extended meeting with him. I wasn't a completely brand new officer in the Army at the time, but I was still a lieutenant. For all of you military folks, you know what that means. Which meant that I knew exactly enough to be dangerous, but not enough to actually solve anything or fix anything. And so I was dealing with the situation, and some of my other soldiers were giving me a hard time that, I didn't really know what to do. And out of nowhere, Jason, he wasn't even in my unit. He was the adjacent company. He came running out of nowhere, screaming and yelling at everybody to show some respect. And, Evans is one of the okay guys. Stop giving him a hard time. He can't help it. He's a lieutenant, and after he solves the problem, he looks at me and he kind of smiles. If you knew him, you would know that smile. He smiles and he says, "It's okay, sir. You can't help it that you're a lieutenant. I'll take care of you." And I thought to myself, wow, I think I've been insulted and helped all in the same sentence there. That's the sort of guy that he was. When we got back from that deployment, we had overlapping jurisdictions in law enforcement, he with the Adams County Sheriff's Office, myself with the Arvada Police Department. So we would run into each other on calls throughout the work week. Then we would go to Buckley Air Force Base to drill, and we would run into each other again there. And so we built a relationship over the years. He was a good guy. I just wanted to read a couple of comments from some of the soldiers that he supervised over the years. Hump, his nickname was Hump. Hump was a family leader. It didn't matter if he knew you or not. If his help was offered, you were then his family. He traveled at all times of the day and night, ensuring his family was doing well and taken care of. It never mattered what was going on in his life. If you needed him, he would drop it all to be there. Sergeant Humphrey was an NCO who put the comfort and well-being of his soldiers far above and beyond any other NCO, making sure they had what they needed, any details, whether it was guard duty or just as simple as an area cleanup. At times, he would relieve soldiers of their assigned duty to give them a break while he finished off their shift. If you had Staff Sergeant Humphrey as your supervisor, you were in good hands. And so a month ago today, when I heard that he had passed away at the end of his shift, it was I honestly didn't know how to react. And so I just wanted to take a moment to memorialize his service, 45 years, military, law enforcement, to our state, to our country, to our community. We have members of the Adams County Sheriff's Office here today that have worked with him, served with him, and I don't know if the National Guard was able to send anybody. They'd said they might send somebody, but we might have some National Guard folks that served with him here as well. So,
Representative Armagost.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Hump, as I knew him as well, was a very colorful individual, and I think everyone who had any interaction with him and meeting him would say the same. Your interactions with him, even if he first met you, it would be something with several expletives in the first sentence and also something wildly inappropriate. But that was just the way he rolled. I knew Hump through the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. We were both in the National Guard. We were both working for a sheriff's office, different sheriff's offices. So when I would go to his house, usually to work on my bike because I'm mechanically inclined, not so mechanically inclined, whereas he was, and it was essentially watching. I would claim to help him change the oil on my motorcycle when it was basically just watching and drinking a beer together and talking about either our motorcycles or cop shop or even something as wild as how you can get a current in your fish tank with different jets going. So he would be a world of help in anything you could imagine, but some things you would never imagine coming from Hump. He was always funny. He would always put a smile on your face. And he was always welcoming to everyone in our family and the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. He leaves behind a great legacy, some very big shoes to be filled as a leader, a natural-born leader, as a state board member in the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association. He leaves behind his family, Danielle and Rhea, and the rides we've done together date back, and one of the distinct memories I have is Rhea with her vest, watching her put that on, and when she would take it off, it looked like something that would fit on a teddy bear. You wouldn't see it fitting on a girl, but the relationship that they had was amazing. It was inspiring, and for all of our Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association members here, thank you for showing up. But again, thank you all for hearing our tribute today for Jason Humphrey. He will be missed.
Thank you, members, and a round of applause for our guests. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for third reading.
Seeing no objection, we will proceed out of order for third reading. Mr. Shebel, please read the title to House Bill 1324.
House Bill 1324 by Representative Clifford, also Senator Liston, concerning the Attorney General's oversight of restrictive employment agreements.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move House Bill 1324 on third reading and final passage.
The motion before us is the adoption of House Bill 1324 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Shebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Luck, how do you vote?
No.
Representative Luck votes no. Representative Ortiz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Ortiz votes yes. Please close the machine. With 47 aye, 15 no, and 3 excused, House Bill 1324 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Shebel, please read the title to House Bill 1329.
House Bill 1329 by Representatives Byrd and Lindstedt, also Senator Marchman, concerning the continuation of the State Board of Licensure for architects, professional engineers, and professional land savers and a connection therewith, implementing the recommendations contained in the 2023 Sunset Report by the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move House Bill 1329 on third reading and final passage.
The motion before us is the adoption of House Bill 1329 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Shebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Luck, how do you vote?
No.
Representative Luck votes no. Representative Ortiz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Ortiz votes yes. Please close the machine. With 52 aye, 10 no, and 3 excused, House Bill 1329 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Shebel, please read the title to House Bill 1319.
House Bill 1319 by Representatives Duran and Winter, also Senator Danielson, concerning the Colorado Professional Firefighter's License Plate and a connection therewith, specifying that the Colorado Professional Firefighter's License Plate expires upon the transfer of a motor vehicle and making an appropriation.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move House Bill 1319 on third reading and final passage.
The motion before us is the adoption of House Bill 1319 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Shebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Luck, how do you vote?
No.
Representative Luck votes no. Representative Ortiz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Ortiz votes yes. Representative DeGraff. Please close the machine. With 60 aye, 2 no, and 3 excused, House Bill 1319 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Members, one announcement before we go to special orders. Representatives Sirota, Byrd, and Taggart will be excused at such time as needed so that the Joint Budget Committee can meet today. Thank you. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the following bills be added to the special orders calendar on Thursday, March 21st, 2024 at 9:28 a.m. House Bill 1305 and Senate Bill 074.
Seeing no objection, the bills listed by the Majority Leader will be added to the special orders calendar today, March 21st at 9:28 a.m. Representative Wilford. Members, you've heard the motion. Representative Wilford will take the chair.
The committee will come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there's a request for reading a bill at length. Committee reports are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the Majority Leader, and the vote rule is relaxed. Before I hand it over to you, Madam Majority Leader, members, let's start second readings off on the right foot. If you have conversations, take them off the floor. We need to be able to hear the folks at the dais. Majority Leader Durian.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1021 to the end of the special orders calendar.
All right, House Bill 1021 will be moved to the end of the special orders calendar. Mr. Schiebel, please read the title of House Bill 1305.
House Bill 1305 by Representatives Lindsted and Lukens, also Senator Baisley, concerning changes to programs to benefit students who earn post-secondary course credit while enrolled in high school.
Representative Lukens.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1305 and the Education Committee report.
To the Education Committee report. Representative Lukens.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the Education Committee, we brought three pretty technical amendments. One was a petition clause. One was a technical amendment to ensure the College Opportunity Fund language is correct, and then the other one was to align the bill with the Colorado Talent Report. We asked for a yes vote on the Education Committee report.
Is there any further discussion on the Education Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Education Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The committee report is adopted. Members. That's much better. Thank you. Representative Lukens.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today we bring before you House Bill 1305, changes for concurrent enrollment students. This supports our hardworking high school students that are working toward associate's degrees. The bill will do two things. It expands the P-TECH program to go beyond STEM, and it also ensures that students in a concurrent enrollment program do not have the courses they take count against the 145 credit hours the College Opportunity Fund provides in tuition assistance. We ask for a yes vote.
Representative Lindsted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think we can all agree the best bills that we run in this chamber come from our districts. This bill came from one of my school districts. I'm really proud to sponsor it and bring it to you all so that we can ensure our workforce is developed to meet the future needs of our state. So I ask for an aye vote.
All right, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1305. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. House Bill 1305 passes. Mr. Shevil, please read the title of Senate Bill 74.
Senate Bill 74 by Senator Gardner, also Representative Weissman, concerning concurrent jurisdiction over United States military property.
Representative Weissman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 74. There are no committee reports.
To the bill.
Members, Senate Bill 74 creates a mechanism for retrocession of jurisdiction from the United States to the state of Colorado for property within the boundaries of military installations in our state, one of which is Buckley Space Force Base. In my district, depending on the specific way in which military installations have come to be, there may be what we could non-technically refer to as kind of patchwork jurisdiction. What this bill does is creates a mechanism in Title III of our statutes for the appropriate officials vested with authority by federal law who are within the employ of U.S. DOD to allow concurrent jurisdiction to the state. The feds are not going to give up jurisdiction. They can't do that. The idea rather is that we would share it. One example of why we might want this is juvenile justice. For example, there are areas in Buckley Space Force Base that are exclusively federal jurisdiction right now. The federal criminal legal system is not really meant to handle juvenile justice issues. We have an appropriate state system for that is rehabilitative in nature and so forth. This mechanism would, for example, allow local law enforcement authorities around Buckley to enter into an agreement upon extension of the offer of jurisdiction from the feds, acceptance by the governor on behalf of Colorado. Then the details would get worked out locally. This is so that U.S. DOD can do what it is best at doing and that local law enforcement can do what it is best at doing. This is actually a U.S. DOD priority in a number of states, and there are comparable bills moving in a number of other states right now. We ask for your support.
Representative Soper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And even though my name's not there yet, it will be by the time you're voting on third reading. This is a great bill. It's really important to be able to have concurrent jurisdiction. And Representative Weissman gave a great description, but I do want to add just one other thing. As we look to areas where there's school districts that are on military bases, that right now, being able to have school resource officers...
Representative Soper, just a moment. Members.
Right now. Yeah, it's totally...
This is what it should sound like in the chamber. Please, take your conversations off the floor. Please don't make me gavel again. Representative Soper, please continue.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, members. I was just starting to say that it's also important to have concurrent jurisdiction in such uses as school resource officers as well, and making sure that youth are not ending up in federal court, that we can have them in state courts, because after all, no one wants a federal court trial on their record. So we'd ask for a yes vote.
Is there any further discussion? Representative Bottoms.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did just have a question for the bill sponsors. I understand the importance of this. I actually like this. I just want to make sure that this does not somehow conflict with the MPs that are doing their job. We still have to remember this is a military base, and that has to take precedence, but I understand the other side of this. So just asking that question.
Representative Weissman.
Sure, fair question. The issue is concurrent jurisdiction. So there is nothing in here that is going to work a diminishment of federal jurisdiction that already exists and needs to continue to exist for the reason stated. If a member of the armed services, commits a violation of UCMJ, we're not talking about that here. MPs are going to continue to have the domain that they have over largely, adults who run afoul of protocols and laws that are supposed to be followed in military bases. One example here, a couple different examples here really are youth-centric. Frankly, we don't want MPs dealing with juvenile discipline issues. We want that to be handled really in the surrounding community, whether in the case of Aurora or Colorado Springs. So nothing here is going to keep MPs from doing what they are meant to do on military bases.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of Senate Bill 074. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senate Bill 074 is passed. Mr. Shevil, please read the title of House Bill 1021.
House Bill 1021 by Representative Lindsay concerning the training of individuals to drive motor vehicles.
Representative Lindsay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's an honor to serve with you.
And an honor to serve with you.
I move House Bill 241021 and the Transportation, Housing, Local Government Committee report and the Appropriations Committee report.
All right, to the Appropriations Committee report.
Great. In appropriations, we just delayed the implementation of the law so that when we have some tech fixes that have to go in the overall drive system, that this will just correspond when they're already doing a big fix in the next couple of years. And I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Let's try this again. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Appropriations Committee report is adopted. Representative Lindsay to the Transportation Committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In committee, we added a couple of amendments that just clarified language, made it consistent throughout the bill and in statute, and also took some feedback from the department of how we need to do background checks properly to make sure that we are adhering to FBI standards. And I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the Transportation Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report on the Transportation Committee report. I apologize. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye. Thank you. Those opposed, no. All right, the committee report passes. To the bill, Representative Lindsay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a bill that is near and dear to my own heart, as I've talked about many times. I have 4 children. They're all young adults now. I've had to teach all of them to drive. And through that process, I've learned a lot about the standards that we have here in Colorado. I have found them to be very confusing, can be very expensive. So I came to this bill with the intention of making it more accessible for families to be able to have kids driving, and also to balance that with safety. We've seen upticks in injuries and deaths with driving, and it's very important as we are training our young folks that we're giving them every tool that they can to get on those roads as safely as possible. And this bill does that. Number one, it takes away some of the complication of the many tiers that are in the current statute, takes it down to 2 tiers, and then provides some alternatives for folks on how they can get their driving requirements met by the time they get their driver's license. And I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1021. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1021 is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
All right, folks. Okay, we're going to wait 2 seconds. You've heard the motion. Seeing no objection, the committee will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Schiebel, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report is under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof and making the following recommendations thereon. House Bills 1021 is amended and 1305 is amended, passed on second reading, ordered, engrossed, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 74 passed on second reading, ordered, revised, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Representative Wilford. There are no amendments. The motion before us is to adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Members participating remotely, Representative Ortiz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Ortiz votes yes. Representative Luck, how do you vote?
No.
Representative Luck votes no. Representatives Hernandez, Herod, Holtorf, Snyder, Soper, and Titone, please vote.
Everybody else, though.
Representative. Please close the machine. With 38 aye votes, 18 no votes, and 9 excused, the Committee of the Whole report is adopted. Announcements and, Majority Leader Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar to Friday, March 22nd, 2024.
Seeing no objection, the balance of the calendar will be laid over as requested by the Majority Leader. Announcements and introductions. Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, and we have some very special guests today. I'd ask them to stand up. I'd like to welcome the students of the Florence Crennington School, better known as FloCrit, one of the best places in my district. Their mission over at FloCrit is to educate, prepare, and empower these teen mothers and their children to break the cycle of poverty through education, health, and wellness. This two-generation model has shown national high school graduated teen mothers that nearly doubles the national average. We appreciate the work you do, and I am so proud to have your school in my district, and I wish you all very well. So thank you for being here today.
Representative Lukens.
Thank you, Mr. You want to go back? Okay.
Representative Valdez.
I, of course, forgot something. There today will be a get-together in room 109 at 11:30 where they would love to have a meet and greet with the legislators, and they'll be asking you all some great questions about maybe a future career path for themselves. So be there, be square.
Representative Lukens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Members, I don't know if you knew this, but during the interim, I teach one civics class at Steamboat Mountain School, and my civics class has joined us here today. So please welcome the civics class from Steamboat Mountain School.
Representative Kipp.
Thank you, Energy and Environment Committee. We will be meeting at 1:30 p.m. today over across the street in LSBA to hear HB 24-1352, HB 24-1338, and HB 24-1367. I will see you there.
Representative McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Education Committee, we are meeting today at 1:30. We have House Bill 1364, House Bill 1264, House Bill 1123 for action only, House Bill 1298, and House Bill 1247. We are having the Workforce Bradley Day. Thank you.
Representative Holtorf. Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. It's an honor to serve with you.
It's an honor to serve with you as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh.
You want to start?
Representative McCormick.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. We're just getting our act together down here. I wanted to just read a fun fact for everyone about Colorado agriculture. Did you know that Colorado is the first in the nation for proso millet production, producing 64% of all proso millet sold in the United States in 2022? And we are one of the top agricultural states in the United States, generating approximately $47 billion, that's with a B, annually in economic activity. Agriculture in Colorado is made up of about 30 million acres of farmland across our state, with approximately 36,000 different farm operations employing more than 195,000 people. And I just wanted to do a shout out to my county, who produces about $26 million of that total.
Representative Catlin.
Thank you, sir. Members, I wanted to talk to you about agriculture today because we don't seem to talk about it very often, except we talk about it 3 times a day. You know, we talk about a lot of different things in this Capitol building, but we never really talk about how much agriculture does for you, me, and the people that we know and love. Without agriculture, you know what I'm talking about. We wouldn't have what we have. So we're celebrating ag this week, which seems okay, but let's talk about ag. We're talking about $47 billion of income into the state of Colorado. One of the things about agriculture is we don't have a Madison Avenue public relations firm making sure that you all know how good and fancy we are, because we don't really talk about that. When we talk about $47 billion, we're talking at the farm gate. There is no economic multiplier put into that number. So in other words, for every dollar of agriculture that is spent, think about the economic activity in the state of Colorado that comes off of that $1 at the sale at the gate of the farm. Agriculture is one of those foundation stones in our foundation, and it has been for 100 years or more. Yet we are ignoring it because we don't think about it. It's such a luxury to us nowadays, we are never hungry. We never go wanting for something. If we want some certain fruit, it's available. If we want a certain cut of meat, it's available. But that's thanks to the people that are at the edge of town quietly doing their job. They don't have a lot of fanfare. We don't pay a lot of attention. But believe me, when things start going haywire with agriculture, it makes the newspaper. Drought, hail, disaster. We start worrying about agriculture at that time. It's a lot like when the foundation of your house has a massive crack in it. You never thought about the foundation until you found the crack. Now we've got to hurry and fix the crack. We're in the same boat with agriculture today. Ag is out there doing their job, but with prices being crashed, some of the products that we sell are not very even worth raising today. What happens to a business if the products that they're selling are not worth selling? Pretty soon they stop selling it and move to something else. There are a lot of pressures being put on agriculture from people who don't understand agriculture, on water, on land use, all of the things that seem to impact our industry. We are not thinking about agriculture as much as we're thinking about the sidewalk in front of our houses. Today's a good day for you and I to take a good hard look at agriculture. And if you know a farmer, reach out and put a hug on him and tell him that it came from Mark Catlin. Because this is something we can do. We can recognize who is a farmer, who is a rancher, who are the people in ag industries, and let them know they're greatly appreciated in the state of Colorado. Today would be a good day to do that. Why don't you turn around and see if you can find a farmer, shake his hand, give him a hug. Thank you very much.
Raise that
Would one of you like to be recognized? Representative Holtorf.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I'm really glad everybody's listening very attentively because the words that are spoken should be very clear. If you like to go to King Soopers and Safeway and look at all the food abundant, it is because of American and Colorado agriculture. Years ago, I met an immigrant from Russia, the former Soviet Union. And he came to this country, and the first thing he did is walked into a grocery store. And he couldn't believe all the food in the grocery store. He said, "This is amazing." He said, "Is this propaganda? Is this just for people to see? Is this like Soviet state store that's full of everything, but when you go out of town or out of Moscow and all of a sudden you see real stores, the shelves are near vacant, empty, there's no food, there's no variety, and it's only basic staples." He couldn't believe the amount of food. And I told him, I said, "No, you will find this in every grocery store in the United States of America because we produce. Agriculture produces food and we feed the world." This is a true story because many places in the world do not have the food abundant that we have in our country. Now I'm here to recognize some very important people. How many folks here got this flyer? If you did, I'm going to hold it up. Take a look at it. You have the opportunity to participate in one of the most wonderful steak dinners you will have. Ladies and gentlemen, raise your hand if you were there last year. Come on, raise your hand. Okay, we need double the people. The Logan County Cattlewomen invite you to join to celebrate Ag Appreciation Week here at the state capitol. The calling on the capitol. I'd like for these ladies to stand up over here. Ladies, please stand up. Logan County Cattlewomen in the house. Their organization is sponsoring this steak night. Tonight at 6 p.m., First Baptist Church of Denver, just right across the street there in the basement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you go, I know she's telling me to hurry up. Thank you, Madam Chair, for your leadership. This steak is a $60 to $80 value if you go down to a steakhouse. You know what it's going to cost you tonight, ladies and gentlemen of the chamber? It's going to be free, F-R-E-E. So please join us and celebrate Ag. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you see how she's poking at me?
Representative McCormick.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro
Members,
Tem.
it is getting a little bit loud in here. I know we're just doing announcements and introductions, but please keep it down. Representative McCormick.
Yes, thank you. Agriculture, Water, and Natural Resources Committee will be meeting at 10:15 in the basement, room 107, to hear House Bill 1354 and 1369.
Representative Amable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. We have business and labor today at 1:30. We're going to be hearing 4 bills, 1245, 1342, 1344, and 1061, and we will be starting promptly at 1:30. Thanks.
Representative Catlin.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling on me again. I appreciate that. Members, I wanted to let you know that I have some Aggie people here with me that are my guests. If you look right up there, if they'll stand up, you can give them a hand. Those are people that I care about a whole lot.
Even though some Aggie people are not defined in the rules under who you can introduce, we'll let it slide this one time. Representative Catlin. Representative Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Today, House Finance will be meeting up on adjournment, 15 minutes up on adjournment, on room 0112 downstairs in the basement. And we're hearing House Bill 1273, House Bill 1295, and House Bill 1358. We look forward to seeing you 15 minutes up on adjournment. Thank you.
Representative English.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I know we've heard a lot of announcements about free food today, but we can have some more free food if y'all hungry, because the Colorado Retail Council is having their annual legislative reception today from 5 to 7 at the Art Hotel. So they would love for us to join them for some fine food, refreshments, and lively conversation. Thank you.
Majority Leader Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that the House stand in recess until later today.
Seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess until later today.